much has it helped? Just, I guess, coach has kind of been hammering it into y'all. And what did y'all do tonight to do that?
I felt like we communicated better, and defense is just wanting to buckle down and do it. So I felt like everyone was bought in on the defense end, and it showed.
And how important, what y'all got off to a 13-0 start, how important is that?
Very important, because we remember last year we got off to a bad start at home, and they beat us on our home floor. So we wanted to make sure that didn't happen again, because last year they got off to a good run and we ended up losing by 2. So that first run could be the difference maker in the game.
Flo, 6 for 6 from the free throw line tonight. How did it feel to
Is that a question? I mean, just confidence in my teammate. I work on my free throws a lot, especially after practice. And the reality is just got to knock it down and those points count.
Flo, did you or the coaches kind of change anything in your approach at all leading into this game, or was stuff just working for you tonight?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's just about getting the guys who are open shots and moving the ball movement, P square, like Coach likes to says, and everything else will take care of itself. I mean, that's about it.
What'd you do rebounding-wise? Y'all won that category by 11. What did y'all work on, or what y'all do?
I mean, I give credit more so to the 4 and the 3. I mean, obviously the 5 always has to rebound, and a lot of time they try to double team me on the board, so that always gives like a 3-man ability to get a few rebounds. And obviously Keontae doing a good job crashing. You know, we kind of got on him about it a few times, but he's doing a really good job. So,
LJ, you feel like just after the win, did you have a chance to, in a way, just relax a little bit and go back to just playing basketball, even though it was a short turnaround?
For me personally, yes. I feel like everything started to settle down. I feel like everybody, from my perspective, was like uptight after those losses. It was just like a lot of tension. After getting that win, I felt like we kind of loosened up and we're getting back to having fun again. So basketball's supposed to be fun. So I feel like when we're out there having fun, we play our best.
LJ, you talked last week about how things just weren't translating from practice to the games. Now back-to-back wins. Are you starting to see that a little bit more, or is there more y'all need to work on?
There's definitely more that we need to work on. We always can improve, but I feel like it did translate the last 2 games. Not as much the last game, even though we won. It translated more this game now.
Flo, y'all head to Lubbock on Tuesday. How tough a place is that to play?
I mean, it's my 5th year, and every year, it's always tough playing out there, and they have a great atmosphere, great crowd. And we just got to go in there, be poised, try to handle our business, stay connected, and, yeah, we'll be all right.
Flo, Coach had talked about last week and the week before about how y'all needed to get better at the rim and in the paint on both sides of the ball. You had a great game today. Oklahoma State was #1 in the conference rebounding coming into this game, and you guys really beat them on the boards. Did you kind of take that personally going into this game?
For me, I take every game personally, especially when it comes to rebounding. I always try to make sure I set the tone so that the rest of the guys follow. Being a leader, it's kind of my position. I kind of have to do that. And then throughout history, Baylor, we always pride ourselves on offensive rebounding. I mean, our defensive rebounding was down, but I mean, we'll try to get better at that. But offensive rebounding, shouldn't be any letdown with that.
Jake, particularly early in the second half, I don't know if it was what their defense gave you, but it seemed like y'all fed more inside, like y'all were working it more to the inside at the start of the second half.
I mean, that just goes to Flo and Josh setting good screens, because in the beginning of the game, obviously, I was getting good looks. So if they set those good screens, they're going to have miscommunications and put 2 on me or be focusing on me, whoever. It could be Keontae, but whenever they set good screens, it actually helps them too. So that was the main thing, just stick to the plan, and if they was open, we was hitting it. And today, they were open.
LJ, starters went on 2 big runs in the first half. Is that unit really coming together?
I mean, today it looked like it came together. Hopefully, it looks like that the rest of the season. So, I mean, I don't want to get too high about it, but today was a good day, though.
Anything else?
All right, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I can tell you that the lights going out Coaches don't know what to say for a third time, all right? We're good for two, before the game and halftime, but the third one, really credit the guys for coming out and finishing the game and not letting Oklahoma State make a run after the citywide power outage. So it was citywide, wasn't just a Farrell Center thing, and appreciate everyone working to get the lights back on. And we haven't had a complete game like this yet in conference, so it's great that we were able to really defensively, rebounding, and taking care of the basketball do those three things at a high level. And then a very balanced scoring attack. And any win like this in the Big 12, it's a blessing. So got to thank God for every win, and these are extra.
Scott, you've been kind of hammering better defense to your team. What happened tonight, do you think?
Well, I think gradually our staff has done a really good job. Our upperclassmen done a really good job of buying in and trying to improve and make things more difficult. And bit by bit, we're getting there. This league's so good, you can improve and not show in the win-loss column. But we are doing the things required to give us a better chance to win now.
Scott, 41-30 on the boards. Just how big was it to go out there and execute the rebounding game plan?
Well, that's always something that we pride ourselves in, and so does every team in the Big 12. And it's a man's league, so you got to bring it if you're going to survive and win on the glass. And they got us on second chance points, but the effort was there for us.
You had to see a really good game like that by LJ
Mm-hmm.
and also Keontae getting the ball to his teammates.
Yeah, I thought Keontae really showed, and this would be coaches really appreciate this. Young players, they have a great game. Normally they come out, and if they're not getting shots or they're not scoring, they try to force things. And he really let the game come to him. He rebounded, he defended, he had 5 assists, 0 turnovers. And because of that, he has a plus 26. And that's really impressive because every night you're not going to score 32. And when defense is key on you, you now are getting other people opportunities to score and be successful. And I thought Keontae really did a great job with that.
Scott, kind of in that same vein, even when he's not pouring in 32, it looks like the offense just flows better when he's on the court. What does he give you when he's out there?
Well, he gives you somebody that can really pass. I know there's an adjustment turnover-wise, and he's getting better at that. But his ability to make ball screen reads, his ability to find open people, hit the bigs. We talk about 3-level scorers, but he's a 3-level passer. I mean, he hit any pass on the court, so that's great too.
Scott, about the 14-minute mark, you guys were up 14. You subbed 4 new guys in, and they went on that big long run. Where was the disconnect with that second group?
Well, I think we went ahead and changed that in the next time, and we didn't try to sub 3 or 4 guys in. It's really tough in the beginning of the game because you go on a run, and you want to keep that run going, and then once the run ends, you got everybody tired at the same time. And it's really hard coming in with 4 guys in because you're not in the field. So, I mean, in hindsight, I should have done a better job subbing a little bit quicker so we wouldn't have just thrown 4 guys in. So a lot of times we learn as everyone learns because in practice you don't really simulate those things, because you're a lot of times playing best on best. And this time of year you don't practice a lot of stuff in game. And our teams will continue to evolve, continue to hopefully get better at finding rotations at work. And we're blessed to have multiple guys that can come in. And the bench has done a great job in practice preparing us. And because of that, we've been successful.
Kind of on the opposite side of that, the starting 5 seem very effective playing together.
Yeah, and some games you look, and in the box score, starting 5 might be close to even, and the bench is +8, +10. I mean, we've had games like that. So every game's different. You always want to have more options than less options. As the year goes on, you tend to tighten your rotations more. Teams go from playing maybe 10 or 11 in the beginning of the year to 8 or 7, 6. You can look across all the box scores, and with us, we've been really blessed the last couple of years to have a starting rotation where we've had so many great players coming off the bench that we really won when we got to the other team's bench. And so we'll keep mix and match and finding ways to be successful because every team's different.
Scott, LJ said that he felt like probably was able to play and just enjoy the game after winning that game earlier in the week. Kind of, did you feel that they just were, maybe just took a deep breath?
Well, I think, coaches always know how important confidence is, and you can't fake it. And when you're over in conference, you're not playing well. That affects you. And when you're winning and playing well, you just have a different swag, different attitude. We all face it every day in work. Like we get a promotion or something. You go in, you just got a different bounce in your step. You're just nicer to people. You're better. And this league's so tough because it doesn't allow you to sustain momentum because there's very few teams that have 6, 8, 10-game winning streaks in the Big 12. Now this year maybe a team will, but on most part it's win 1, lose 1, win 2, lose 2. And that's hard to gain that. So we needed that win against West Virginia. You got to stop losing slides as quick as you can. At the same time, I thought today there's a reason we won. We executed, and it's one thing to play hard. It's another thing to play smart. We did both of them today.
Scott, did you feel like the defense maybe forced them to take all those 3-pointers? They were 7 for 33 out there.
I thought the defense was very good. At the same time, when you watch film, I know there's some shots they miss that normally they make, and same thing with us. If we shoot 7 for 33, I know there's going to be some in there where normally we make those, So one thing in coaching, the only thing you can control is the quality of the shot. You can't control if it goes in.
Scott, we won't see you before you go to Lubbock, so what do you expect from a Mark Adams team?
Well, I'm hoping their game right now goes to 5 overtimes and or 6. But everyone knows how good they are defensively. Everyone knows how crazy the atmosphere is down there, and you gotta. It's hard to win on the road, and we're going to have to really be focused, prepared. They have a lot of newer guys as we do, and you have a higher ceiling, but sometimes it's tough when you start out conference, and I think both of us face that at the same time.
Scott, you've talked a lot about Flo and his free throw struggles, and then 6 for 6 tonight. How good was that from your perspective?
Yeah, I take that every night. So, but he's worked hard, and he's been making them in practice. So we feel confident and comfortable because we see him making them in practice. He feels confident, comfortable because he put in the work, and those are big.
Coach, going off a win streak, we talked about it yesterday, going from a losing streak to 2 back-to-back, what's going to be the key to keep that momentum going into Lubbock?
Well, I think it starts with the prep, and we had great prep coming into this game. And if you have a great prep, it gives you a chance to be successful. And so play on Tuesday. Hopefully the guys get a good night's rest, get good food. Staff does a good job making sure we're ready tomorrow to get them better and improve and know what they got to do to get a win in Lubbock.
Scott, you had talked about the first couple games, you just weren't winning in the paint, and a little bit more about Flo. What did he change? He looked great today in ball denial. What did he change to make you guys a better defensive paint team and offensive, and how important is that for y'all going?
I think our ball screen defense has improved. Some of that's credit to the big, some of it's credit to the guards, some of it's credit to the other 3 on the court, being in correct rotations and positioning. But I can tell you that when a big like Flo goes 6 for 6 from the free throw line, those are huge because if you have an easy and you get fouled and you go 0 for 2 or you miss a front end on 1-on-1, it's like you never got the ball into the paint. When you make them, it's just a different feeling, and it puts pressure on the defense. And you can't be successful just with an outside attack. You have to have that inside. And I thought we've done a good job getting the free throw line, and our guards done a good job driving it, and our bigs are getting better at finishing, and our guards are getting better at getting them where they need the ball.
Oklahoma State had just 2 steals tonight. You're happy with how your guards handled the ball?
Most definitely. Last year they came in here and had a ton of steals against us and left Waco with a win.
What was your message in that second halftime, I guess?
Oh.
Was there any specific message to him going back out? I think you were up 25. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll keep that one secret. Just in case the lights go out again.
Scott, you said last week that we would get better sleep than you after
Credit to Baylor. They played well, very well. So give them credit, but really poor performance by us in just about every facet of the game. Far and away our worst, performance collectively. And I don't know if there's really anything to point to that I would feel good about, as we get out of here. So I'll leave it there. And obviously we have a lot of work to do to become the type of team that we're capable of being.
Mike, where do you go from here?
Home. What you got to do is the process can't change, and whatever went into today happening, we've got to own it. Got to take personal accountability as the head coach myself, but each player also has to look in the mirror and figure out what more or what better they can do for the group. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take everybody digging down a little deeper, finding a little bit more, and bringing it in a confident way, in a way that can translate into success. And, it's probably a double-edged sword in the sense that there are a lot of still good opportunities out there for us. But no one is going to fix it for us. No one's going to feel like, well, those guys are struggling. They lost a tough one early. They're out there, starting 5-man. No one cares. And so we gotta get back to the drawing board and figure out how to fix this stuff.
You've had success in the past of improving throughout Big 12 play. Is there something you can pinpoint that you maybe got to flip? Is there something you need to do to kind of start that a little bit?
I'm certain there's something. Yes. I can't point to it right at this moment. Obviously, right in the wake of the end of the game. But today's performance was unacceptable. We didn't compete at the level necessary to give ourselves a good chance to win. And so, here we are with a lot of work to do, and we got to put our heads down and start figuring it out.
Started in a 13-0 hole. What kind of went wrong there at the beginning?
A little bit of everything. And when you're having, scouting breakdowns against guys who you obviously highlight as you prepare, it doesn't foster a whole lot of confidence moving forward. So I think that first play was something that we worked on for 3 straight days. Simple baseline screen for LJ Cryer. He comes off wide open, makes it 3, and just sets a bad tone. And then we talked about, trying to keep those guys from a guard standpoint under wraps. And, Keontae didn't score 30, but he was very, very comfortable out there most of the game. He just didn't take a ton of shots today. And that's a sign of a good player because he saw that LJ had it going early. And a really good player recognizes that and allows his teammate to have the success for the team that day. So that started it. LJ got going early, but we also got kicked on the glass. So a lot of things didn't go well. A lot of it had to do with them, having a pretty determined and focused game plan. They had already dropped 2 at home. Obviously, you go through this league and you need to protect your home court. I'm sure that was a lot of the conversation with those guys. But for us, we got to figure out how we can be consistently more productive on both ends of the court.
Coach, not having Moose out there, how big a factor is that?
Yeah, there's no doubt that it's a factor. But that's a part of the game. Injuries are an inevitable part of the game. You hope it doesn't happen to your best defensive anchor and a guy who can create open shots for other guys because he's a threat to score at the rim. But when that happens, a really good team has someone else or a few guys step up and play a little bit better and coalesce around that. And maybe we can find, something that we didn't know about our team before. And today was a step backwards in that regard.
I think you went 3 for 20 from 3 in the first half. Did you like the looks you were getting? What kind of went into it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we shot relatively, good shots. I'll have to go back and watch it to really assess where they came from, if they were coming from the right people in the right places on the floor. But I didn't look up and feel like, man, we're taking a bunch of bad shots. The nature of Caleb being in foul trouble along with Musa out meant that we're going to be pretty guard shooting oriented, for the game. So, obviously the last couple games we've been able to play through KB, for a lot of the game, and he's been able to produce at a high level. But obviously when he gets his second foul in the first half there, it changes the way you have to attack offensively.
All of his points, I think, came in the final 3 minutes. Was it just kind of bad luck with the fouls, or is there something that he could have done different?
Well, they double-teamed him too. I mean, even from the very start of the game, I think that obviously was a part of their game plan was to not allow him to be the anchor offensively, and then in that case, that's going to lead to you shoot more shots from the perimeter. So, but again, we missed some layups, missed some free throws. Had some careless turnovers there. Not as many today. I guess that would be a silver lining in this deal. Maybe we're taking care of the ball a little bit better today, but you got to be able to shoot better than 38% on the road in this league to have a chance to win.
What did you see from your defense? It's something you usually can rely on, and today it wasn't. It had its issues.
Yeah, again, Jay, I had to go back and look, exactly to see what happened on the film. But I don't feel like we made them uncomfortable enough. Just sitting here right now in the immediate ending of the game. And so that, when they get the first few pretty easily, that puts a little bit more stress on you. But I don't want to make this about our defense. They scored 74, which isn't, a terribly high number. Scoring 58 in the 50s is going to be difficult to find success on the road in this league.
For both the players, shooting 38% tonight, do you feel like it's just open shots that were missed, or does Baylor's defense really put pressure on your offense?
Like Coach was saying, I just feel like it's kind of a confidence thing. Like, we in our heads, we just got to get back to being us. And, like, while we're here, we're here because we can shoot the ball. We're here because we're good players, and we just got to go back to the drawing board, like Coach said, just to find that rhythm again,
Yeah, I pretty much feel the same way. I feel like we took good shots for the most part, and I just feel like as Big 12 players, we got to knock those down. We were open a lot, and I don't feel like they were really, messing us up, but I feel like it was just mainly like a mental thing, like Avery them said.
Avery, you've been in a lot of Big 12 games. What's kind of your message to the players in this?
We just can't play on our heels. Like, at the beginning of the game, we was really on our heels, and as Coach said, they were comfortable. I was getting every shot that they wanted. So just telling them, if they make a couple, we just got to do the next great thing, and that's get a good shot on offense. So just trying to move on to the next play.
Do you feel like you took steps forward to get back to yourself a little bit today? I know you've been doing wrist injury.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I felt pretty good, and I just feel like I got to just do more, like Coach said, be more of a vocal leader on the floor for my team, and when things get down, just calm everybody down and get us setting something or get a stop. Get the team together and get a stop on defense.
Coach, Baylor attempted 22 free throws. Y'all attempted 8. What does that tell you about the game?
I don't know. Maybe they were more aggressive driving the ball. We shot a lot of threes. So I have to go back and watch the film. Sounds like a trick question.
Anything else? We'll wrap it up there.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.